Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm the branch manager at Parker Memorial Library, which is the SOLS branch in Sulphur. And just wanted to share a few things. First off, you know, hi to all my patrons. I miss y'all. Can't wait to hopefully eventually see y'all again, and hope you're doing all right. Um, Also, if you haven't taken the census yet, please do so. It's just really important that we all get a good count of how many people there are in our communities. It decides stuff from, funding for infrastructure to our congressional districts. So if you haven't filled out the census yet, please do so. Now, today, I was wanting to share a couple things. I am an avid bullet journalist. Last month, I did a program about it here at my library, and I just wanted to share some things with everybody system-wide. Last week was also Money Smart Week, so I want to focus today on what I do for my finances. So hopefully you'll find some of this informative and helpful. And so, first off, with bullet journaling, it was an analog system for a digital world developed by Ryder Carroll. That's actually like his tagline. And you can go to bulletjournal.com and see his introductory videos. It gets its name because you do like a daily to-do list. And so, and you put a little bullet next to it, next to each item. And so that's where the name comes from. In addition to those daily logs, though, there's also what are called collections. And so that's the part that's really taken off. And when you see like real developed layouts and pictures and stuff on Pinterest or Facebook, that's what people are sharing. They're sharing their collections usually. And so I just wanted to share my financial planning ones because it's really helped me. And I had to work to develop these. There was a lot of trial and error. So I just wanted to share. First off, notebooks are also a big thing you'll see in bullet journal communities. So like this is my old one. And so I got this real cheap at the store locally in Ardmore. And so it is graphing paper. And so there's lines because when you do collections, you want straight lines. And so those just gives you some guides to follow. So this is pretty good. You can see it's pretty beaten up because I carry my bullet journal with me everywhere. So like there used to be like black tape here. It's come off. But I carry this around with me everywhere for a few months. And yeah, this is what happens. I have a new one. These were good. You'll hear a lot of talk about dot notebooks, which I found really hard to get locally. This year I did treat myself to a birthday present and got myself a dot journal. As cool as the dots are, though, I think I'm probably even more excited that this came with a pencil holder. So yeah, very awesome. Because now I don't have to search through my purse for a pencil when I need one to write in my bullet journal. So very awesome. So anyway, finances. I guess the start of my financial journey, I read a lot of personal finance books. I read some Dave Ramsey. I just looked on Libby. So we have Dave Ramsey books on the digital library. I think most of them have a hold list, but a couple of them aren't very long. It's just like one or two people. So definitely check that out. Libby is our ebooks and our audiobooks, by the way. If you need help with that, be sure to call your local branch. So anyway, when it comes to my finances, my budget. First off, Dave Ramsey does the envelope system, which is a little hard for me because I'm like, why can't I just use my card for stuff? So what I do is I get paid twice a month, so I divide all my monthly bills in half. So now I'm not worried like, oh, do I have all the money I need for rent? Or, oh, do I have all the money for the telephone bill during this paycheck? Like, it doesn't matter. I just pay half whenever. Sometimes I pay really early, which works because now I totally avoid late fees. And people are always happy to take your money, of course. So if you struggle, I recommend that because I used to be late with stuff. Anyway, so this is just a sample budget, not really real numbers. So I just, first off, let me be on the right side here. So first off, I do both checks. I write out my bills first of all, because you always want to prioritize your bills. Like I said, I just made up these numbers. And so I do half on each check. So that's why I put those numbers as the same. And then things like gas, make sure you can put gas in your car. And then groceries. And then I also will list things that I want to do. Because just taking those few minutes to figure out like, okay, is my car tag due this month? Is there a new Avengers movie I need to go see? Then I can get those on the budget. So it's not like, oh man, I can't go to this because I don't have the money, because I've listed it. It's already on here. And then as things go down, instead of just a simple bullet, I actually do a square. And so I can fill it in. It gives me a little more joy to fill in the squares. So as I pay things, I just fill in the squares. And so that's a monthly budget. And then the other thing is that, I don't know about you, I've racked up some debt over the years. There was credit card debt, student loan debt, all types of fun stuff. And so if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, he's most known for the debt snowball. And so that is basically you make your monthly payments, but you focus on paying down the smallest debt that you have. And then once you get that one all paid off, you go in and pay the next smallest one. And so the thing is as you get it paid off, you have more money that can go to that next bigger loan, and you keep building up all these payments, and so you get them all taken care of. And before you start that, you set up an emergency fund. So actually that was the first layout that I did. Now this one, I'm down mostly to my student loans. And I just redo it. I redo it every time I finish a loan. Like I could continue doing, these same boxes, but I just like to redo the whole thing because every time I do, these big boxes that represent how much I owe get smaller. And that's what we want. And so this first one is just the smallest of my student loans. Like I said, I've broken it down not by like a total overarching student loan, but just each individual one. So some of them are like from a semester or a year. And so there's all these little pieces to it. So I've broken them down so now they look a bit more manageable. And so the very top one is the one I'm working on, just as much money as I can put towards it. And so in this case, like I said, I don't know, it's hard to see, but like I said, there's dots all over this page in a grid. And so when I'm ready to fill stuff in, I just fill in, that square that those dots make. And so in this case, $10 for each of the, for each square. And so just however extra much money I get, like if I get a tax return or something, like I can fill in a whole bunch on it. Which works for me because it's not always a set amount that I have. So I like this for the fact that it could take any amount that I might have any month. Then I can just fill it in, and then the bigger square or rectangle here is the total amount. And so I'm just trying to fill it in as fast as I can. And then after that, I list all my other debts. So each one gets its name and like how much it is. Except on these, instead of the little $10 boxes, it's the monthly payment. So even though I'm not really like focused on these right now, I like seeing that, hey, I made the monthly payment, I'm making progress, the amount is getting smaller. Because each time I redraw this, I look up what the total amount is, and I can see that, hey, look, this one, it's gone down a bit since I did this. And there's a lot fewer boxes. Like, because I've redrawn this a couple times, I can tell, like, oh, wait, I took off like this whole bottom line or whatever of the chart. So, really awesome. And so, yeah. So, those are a couple of my bullet journal collections for personal finance. I'd love to talk more about bullet journaling, answer any questions anyone has. So, definitely hit me up in the comments. So yeah, I'll be watching out. So let me know if you have, like I said, questions, or if you bullet journal and you have a favorite layout, feel free to, send me a picture. So yeah, stay safe, fill out your census. Talk to y'all later.